Alexander Graham Bell was born March 3rd, 1847, and died August 2nd, 1923. He had 4 children and was married to Mabel Gardner Hubbard. He invented the telephone in March 1876. He was a man of many accomplishments.
Though he did many things in his lifetime, there was also negatives. Many people claim that Bell didn't invent the telephone, and later in the Bell Telephone Company career, it was considered a monopoly, which were no longer allowed.
Good afternoon. A new face to technology named Alexander Graham Bell is on the brink of an important invention.
Alexander is a teacher by day and an inventor by night. Sources tell us he wants to invent a harmonic telegraph, also known as a telephone. This is sending your voice through a wire.
Alexander is always looking for ways to make things better and always pushing himself to be a better person. He sure does. He's a teacher of the deaf and thence finds time to pay attention to his family too.
He taught the deaf with his father after studying at the University of Edinburgh. He taught the deaf to talk using his father's system of visible speech.
Incoming news, other inventors are on the verge of cracking this new technology. But we have a feeling Alexander Graham Bell is just one step ahead.
Well, that's all for today. See you soon at the same time. Thank you for tuning in. Good afternoon. Today is March 10th, 1876.
We have more on the harmonic telegraph being invented.
And if you weren't tuned in last month or so, the harmonic telegraph is human voice traveling through wires, and it is also known as a telephone.
Breaking news! Alexander Bell has done it. We weren't sure if he could do it, but he has. He's invented the telephone.
Bell transmitted the first message ever sent by telephones. His words were, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want you." He said this to his assistant, who was linked by wire and receiver to the sending device in Bell's office.
His assistant answered, "You said, Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you." The effect was loud, muffled, and not very distinct, but it was definitely there.
If the minor kinks are rolled out, then the telephones will be used for a business tool, but definitely not a personal use because the prices are way too high. That would only happen like the 2000s.
Imagine a telephone that doesn't have a wire.
Wow.
Bell developed the basic concept of this device by using a varying electric current to transmit the sound waves of human speech over wire.
That is truly remarkable, Sandra.
It really is, Kathy.
Tune in next time for more about the telephone.
Thanks for coming.
Good afternoon. Today is March 10th, 2015.
Today is the anniversary of the invention of the telephone by Alexander Graham Bell.
Alexander sure had a lot of accomplishments throughout his life.
He sure did. He taught the deaf, graduated from the University of Edinburgh. He was a teacher to many, invented the telephone, made a company for his invention of the telephone, and lastly, most important, he had time to be with his family.
We appreciate Alexander Graham Bell today because he really did show that you really can do it all.
Nowadays, almost everyone has a phone. Without his invention, other modifications to the telephone, like the first cell phones and iPhones, wouldn't have happened.
Thank you for tuning in.
Hi, I'm Carl reporting to you live at the Apple Store. Apple would not have been around without the Alexander Graham Bell. The telephone at the time caused a huge social and economic change because people had a way to talk to each other over wire. Alexander explored the possibilities of talking through wire, encountered many court cases, had to fight for his invention rights, and he exchanged the product over America and then throughout the world. Thank you. Back to you, Sandra.
Thank you for tuning in to our trip to the past.
See you tomorrow.
Okay.